Cloudcast Media.
Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, and I don't know, usually when we're around folks like Ernie Hahn III, things that never happened before happen. And I think this is the first time in my 17 years we've had back-to-back interviews with the same group. So Ernie, that golden touch of yours has done it again. We are back with our friends from Boys to Men Mentoring. Joe Sigurdson, he is the Chief Success Officer, joined by Ernie Hahn III, founder of CaddyHack. We talked about that in the previous episode on July 24 at Fairbanks Ranch. We are with just absolutely a wonderful young man in the room here is going to talk about his story, and that's Skylar Arenas. He's a graduate of Boys to Men. How you doing there, Skylar?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good. That's just pretty good? How about phenomenal?
Yeah, we're getting there.
Oh, I love it. You got to get a crescendo. You got to get up there. And joined by my colleague, Neville Villamoria, Senior VP of Marketing and Community Relations. Joe, I'll let you do some introductions to Skylar, and then we're going to ask him a bunch of questions. How's that sound?
Yeah, that sounds wonderful. So, I met Skylar on his Rites of Passage weekend, the Adventure Mountain weekend that we host. But Skylar had been attending Mann Middle School, and we've got a Boys to Men program in there. And, he showed up, he told the truth, he listened, he acted on his own commitments, and he started identifying the blocks, the beliefs, the traumas, the events that in his life that were sabotaging his success and talking about them on a regular basis, and then was invited up to do the Adventure Mountain weekend and courageously accepted and came up and was amazing. That's where I met him. And I saw this amazing, young, strong, courageous young man getting real about where he was in his life and what was happening and what he was having to deal with and navigate, and the confusion and the grief and the loss and the sadness that he was having to work through just to show up and go to school. These kids have so much going on that we don't even know about, and so when they act out, the schools want to punish them by suspending them, and they have no idea what is driving the behavior behind them, So Skylar came up, he shared his story, he got challenged to make some new choices. He made those choices. We wrote them down. We scribed it. We have a process called the road mapping process, where we wrote down everything that was in the way and everything he was willing to do to move through it. And he made a commitment to himself and to the community. And he's been integrating those commitments in his life coming off that weekend. He's a leader in the Boys to Men community. He staffs these weekends. He's an example for the new boys coming up. He sits not only in his school circles, but he comes to our open community groups on Tuesday. He's a leader in that circle. And, we talked about showing up and being on time and being accountable. I called him yesterday after I talked to you, Drew, and I said, dude, I need you in the morning. Okay. You got to be ready at 7:15. Okay. I said, okay, I'll see you then.
And here he is right here. Yeah. Skylar, welcome to the show. Listen, I know there's we could probably do a 5-hour show with Tyler and Skylar and only hit about 1/80th of what he can talk about. But congratulations to you and what you've done and so forth in this aspect of it. But let me ask you this. You've been involved with Boys to Men for how long?
So I think it's coming up on 2 years now.
So 2 years. So here you are. You don't know anything about Boys to Men. It's day one. You're meeting this guy named Joe, for God's sake, and eventually you'll be hanging out with Ernie Hahn III. Day one. What did you think? Were you anxious? Were you nervous? Who are these guys?
So day one, my friend drags me from after the end of class, takes me to this random room like near the back of the school. And I'm here with one friend and everyone else is random. These guys come in with pizza and they just start talking, right? Start talking about struggles. And I'm like, oh, they're taking this seriously. Some of the other guys are joking around like the guys from school. And then it's my turn. So then I just start talking about it. And then we move on to the next person.
That's great. First of all, you're phenomenally well-spoken. And I see a broadcast career in there somewhere, and I'm sure Ernie can tee that one up since he knows everybody in this region, to say the least, on this. 2 years later, okay, here you are, as Joe said, a true leader in Boys to Men. We're going to chat with you and Ernie a little bit about your CaddyHack experiences as well, and so forth. Do you golf at all?
Mini golf occasionally.
Okay, good. Are you a one handicap like Joe is? Joe's a one handicap per half hole. No, I'm just teasing on this. Joe, do you golf at all by any chance? A little.
Ernie's looking at me, so like I know he knows. He's seen me golf.
That's right.
He's not much.
That's
he's
right.
not much of a golfer, but he was referred to as Dan Fouts today on TV.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, that's good. Very, okay, that's good. Elton Joe. I wonder if Elton John actually golfs on this. And Neville Villamoria, certainly is involved in so many different aspects. He's going to chime in, of course, as he did in the first session on mentoring. He's a phenomenal musician. Do you golf at all, Neville?
I vendor golf. I play charity golf tournaments. I'm best when I'm scrambling with good players.
Right.
And I usually like the 19th hole best of all.
Right. Exactly. Ernie, what's your handicap? This is the three?
I don't play a ton anymore, but I've maintained I'm like a 7 handicap.
Oh, ridiculous.
But I just play kind of charity stuff, and
7 handicap.
you would love this because the 19th hole exists on every hole.
Yeah.
Out of CaddyHack. So it's the beauty of one of the beauties of CaddyHack.
That's good. So let me ask you this, Skylar. You've learned a lot. What would you say some of the skill sets you learned, or some of the things, the characteristics? I'm sure confidence has been a big part of it. Talk about that.
So one thing that really helped is about the mentors at Boys to Men, right? So these random boys come in, right? And then they just start opening up to these random people they've known for 5 minutes. So I kind of learned off of that, to just say it.
And it's with that, you're gaining confidence, they're gaining confidence, and so forth. We're chatting with Skylar Arenas. He's a graduate of Boys to Men, mentoring, joined by the Chief Success Officer, Joe Sigurdson, Ernie Hahn III, founder of CaddyHack. It'll be on July 24th this year at Fairbanks Ranch. And my good friend Neville Villamoria, Senior VP of Marketing Community Relations for Mission Fed. I'm Drew Schlosberg, as you're listening to an edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, now the nation's longest-running community podcast, in our 17th year on this. So you participated in CaddyHack. What was your major job? What did you have to do?
So the first night, this is when people start donating and stuff. I was dressed up as a chickmunk.
Was that Joe's idea? Was it Ernie's idea? Was it both of their ideas?
It was Ernie's idea.
Of course it is. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
We have a mascot, and then I always like to say to add texture. We have a couple chipmunks that are running around the course, and so you could be about to hit your tee shot or whatever, and a chipmunk comes over and just kicks your ball and runs to a tree and stuff like that. So it's just expect the unexpected, and chipmunks on a course that are dressed up, that are probably. Skylar was, somewhere between 140 and 160 degrees in that suit at that day.
Yeah,
so we appreciate the love, buddy, because we know it was hot in there.
Right. So we have CaddyHack coming up next month, the 24th. Will you be in a chipmunk outfit again, or are they going to get you in a gorilla outfit this time?
No, I kind of want to be in the chickmunk outfit again.
Oh, good.
It's pretty fun.
Now, will Joe be in an outfit, or will it be in Elton Joe? What will he be?
We can try to squeeze him in the outfit, but
Yeah, that's not happening.
That would be a squeeze. No, he will be, like I said, it's a combination of Elton John and Liberace as Elton Joe. It's really when you see it, you have to come out. You'll recognize him.
No, I'd love to come out on this. On a serious note, Neville, talk just about just the critical nature and how important it is to have a mentor.
Well, in the context of alliteration right now, Skylar started with struggle, right?
Right.
It goes from there to story, what happened to us in the past, script, how we can reframe what happened to us in the past, and then state, which is how we show up today, and how, as we're hearing, a very articulate, confident Skylar moving from struggle to salvation, not in a religious sense, but being liberated to be his own authentic self. So I think mentoring creates an environment where you can honor and own the struggle. You can appreciate the story, but you get the chance to write your own script so you can live in the present state of hopefully a sense of purpose and connection and value.
I think that's spot on. And when we come back from break, we're going to talk more with Skylar about those skill sets as well. Very well stated as usual, Neville, on this. Joe will chat more on what our folks can do. Certainly tee it back over to Ernie on what we can expect again with CaddyHack on the 24th as well. And as we always do, Neville knows this. I think he's been on my show almost for 17 years from the time he came into. When did you come into Mission Fed? How long ago was it?
21 years.
21. Okay, very good. So 4 years later, we started this. He knows we always send Joe and Ernie on the times he's been on. We always ask our listeners, what can you do to support Boys to Men? We'll save some time on that when we return with our good friends from Boys to Men Mentoring. We will be right back.
When you do your banking with Mission Fed, you get great rates on auto and home loans. That's good for you, but something good also happens for a lot of other people. We're not for profit, so we put money back into the community to help lots of great nonprofits to keep San Diego strong. So you're not just getting something good, you're doing something good. Come to Mission Fed. It's banking that's good for all.
Brand amplification is the DNA of Cloudcast Media, and our code is the powerful blending of sound, voice, and storytelling to lift local brands and their communities. Whether it is our Brandcast, Schoolcast, or Causecast platforms, the unifying ethos is all about this community, the one you call home. If you dare to dream and want to explore the brand amplification of Cloudcast, a national leader in local podcasting and other Winfluence strategies, please visit us at cloudcast.us.
I'm Drew Schlosberg, Cloudcast Media. You're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, now the longest-running podcast in the nation, doing this for 17 years, community podcast, that is, here in these wonderful Mission Fed studio in Scripps Ranch. Mission Fed's been a great sponsor of this show and been doing wonderful things for San Diegans for more than 60 years, joined by Joe Sigurdson, Chief Success Officer, Boys to Men Mentoring, and we have Ernie Hahn III, the founder of CaddyHack. We'll be chatting about that in a few seconds. Neville Villamoria, Senior VP of Marketing and Community Relations, my frequent co-host. We really appreciate him jumping in on this. And the star of today's podcast, and that's Skylar Arenas, a graduate of Boys to Men Mentoring. Joe, how do people sign up for the event?
Yeah, if you just go to boystomen.org, boystomen.org, there'll be a pop-up for CaddyHack. It's the first thing everybody's going to see. Click on register now. We're looking for golfers. We're looking for sponsors. Once you click on that, it'll take you and give you every opportunity to participate in this amazing golf festival.
Oh, that sounds good. So, Skylar, here's a question for you, because I know you can think very well on your feet. So, imagine you're just in a room of potential boys, to men mentoring, clients, so to speak, that may be a part of this. What would you say to them if they are a little cautious about, should I join this organization? What would you say?
Well, first, I'd say no one can force you to join it, but at least try it. If you don't like it, you can always back out. No one's going to force you there, but if you like it, start coming to more meetings.
Okay, so I'm going to pretend I'm one of these folks, even though I'm a little bit older, okay, like a lot older. I think if you had it by everyone's age here, I'm still older by 10 years, except for Ernie, who never ages, for God's sake, and we all know that. So tell me what would I get most out of it, Skylar? Okay, what can I expect to be the most?
I would say the most is someone to, I would say either to be listened to or for someone to listen to you talk, because sometimes you just need to get something off your chest. You tell them, and then you can just go about your day feeling a lot better knowing that you got something off your chest. That's
great. So then usually with adults, I'm a little prejudiced here. Remember, I'm someone that's young. They're maybe okay at hearing. They're terrible at listening, okay, because they're already thinking about things they're going to say before I hear my story. So that's a really good point. So you're very confident they actually sit and listen to what you have to say.
Yes, they do. And if you need help, they can advise you hey, maybe we can work this out, or see, how would I put this? So they'll ask you, do you need help with this, right?
Right.
And then they let you choose, do you need help or do you think you can do this on your own, right? If you think you do this on your own, they'll step back and just continue listening. Now, if you need help, they'll listen, see what hey, do you need me call you on this to help you for homework,
That's something, Joe, you said this in the first episode about you don't prejudge, okay? Yeah. You listen. Talk about how important that is.
Well, it's critical, because these guys are totally capable of finding their own way, and the last thing a teenage boy needs is somebody else telling them what's wrong with them and what they need to be doing. So it's pretty refreshing for our guys when we show up and they're sharing about what their struggle is. Would you like some support on that? I don't know. Well, if you got support, what would happen? Well, I might actually do it. All right, so there's 7 guys here, and the only reason they're here is to support you. Do you want some support? Yeah, okay. So what's the support look like? Well, can somebody give me a call or send me a text? Great. Who's going to support Skylar in this new choice? Ernie steps. Okay, Skylar, today's Tuesday. I'm going to text you on Thursday. And so they get the support, and it doesn't matter what, a lot of these guys, they're not really proud of the way they're treating their moms. Mom is this safe dumping ground for this transference of anger and frustration, and so they may be angry at a friend or angry at a teacher or a coach or something, but that transference gets directed at mom because it's not safe there. So they know that they're not, so they want a better relationship with their mom, and they'll say, I need to treat my mom better. I'm being very disrespectful. And so what do you want to do? What's the choice? Well, I'm going to ask her how her day went. Okay, who's going to support Skylar in this new choice? Ernie says, it's Tuesday. I'm going to text you on Thursday. Make sure you're taking care of, you're being kind to your mom. He gets that text. He gets reminded, oh, yeah, no, I haven't done that. And so then he acts on it or he doesn't. Following Tuesday, Skylar comes through. Skylar, you said you wanted a better relationship with your mom. You said you were going to ask her how her day went. Did you do that? And then he says, yes. Okay, great. Tell us how that worked. Did you do that? He says, no. Okay, great. Tell us how that worked. We suspend our judgment. We meet the boys right where they are and then say, what kind of man do you want to be this week, Skylar? And then they make a new choice. And so week by week, they're getting rid of secrets. They're making new choices. They're getting support and accountability around those choices. They start feeling better. And they start doing better. And man, what I've witnessed in Skylar over the last 2 years, he's just an amazing kid. And he really wants to be good.
Yeah, no, there's no question about that. And Ernie, and I want you to jump in on this too, Neville. What we heard basically from Joe and from Skylar is something that's important to all of us, and that is trust. Talk about that, Ernie.
Well, it's amazing to me. I've been doing this with Joe for a long time now, but like that one really struck a nerve when I was listening to it because it hit to the core, right? Just the organization and what it does and how they listen and listening to Skylar today. I'm so proud. I'm always proud to be involved with this, but you put on the event, you're doing it but I'm actually sitting here reflecting today and I'm actually seeing and hearing things that really actually make me feel that much more special of what we have put into this, because I can see young men like Skylar that are just phenomenal kids. And I think of one of the reasons we did this and why we want to raise more money is there are 10s and 20 and 30 schools, 40 schools. We want every school to be able to have this. And so our quest is to keep pushing this and have fun with it, because there's so many kids like Skylar out there that would really benefit from this program, that are amazing young men that a lot of them don't get that chance. And so I see this and I get even more inspired.
No, that's spot on. And Neville, we've talked about trust before. You've certainly co-hosted with me on a variety of points, especially when we chat with people that are in the space of foster youth. That is a common thread with our good friends at Just in Time for Foster Youth, talking to Don Wells. And when you heard right now from Skylar that he trusts Joe, Ernie, and the folks, how critical is that?
Well, we're learning from Skylar how important it is to feel heard, feel valued, feel affirmed, have your sense of agency and efficacy. Trust is a cornerstone of all of that, but we've got to create an environment where that can happen. I think Boys to Men are not dealing with symptoms, they're dealing with systems, and they're trying to intervene early. There's a great Goethe quote that says, if you treat a person the way they are, they'll always act the way they are. But if you treat a person the way they could be, then they will behave into what they could be. So I think what you're hearing and we're experiencing, and hopefully you can support if you're listening today, is supporting an organization that's going to address early childhood issues and take many of us that are wounded and help us be peaceful warriors and redefine our success.
No, that is absolutely spot on that. And we're going to be wrapping up here pretty soon here. So, Tyler, you're already excited about July 24 and CaddyHack, correct?
Yes, I'm very excited.
Exactly. When do you start working on that? Is it a week before? Is it 2 weeks before?
What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, the event's on the 24th, but I mean, do you start gathering information beforehand? Or it is day one, the 24th, and it is go time at 5 a.m.
So basically, you sign up, and then you're told what to do once you get there.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful! Yeah. So, Joe, you keep it a secret. That's nice. And so, whether it's going to be in the squirrel outfit or
that's it.
Okay, very good. Yeah. That's right. He could be in a different outfit today, right? Or on the 24th.
No, he's going to be a chipmunk. He's the best chipmunk we've ever had. He hassles the guys. They don't know what's coming. They don't know what just hit him, and he's gone. And he gets to be mischievous and be honored and rewarded for being a mischievous young man in a very safe, contained place, right, where he's got full permission to be as coyote as he wants.
No, I think that's great. And then, Skylar, obviously you're well on your way to replacing Joe as the Chief Success Officer.
That's right.
And it could happen, according to Ernie, it could happen momentarily, but or somewhere down the road on this. What is the website to sign up for CaddyHack?
Yeah, if you go to boystomen.org, there's a pop-up right there. You have no choice but to sign up. So, so go to boystomen.org.
Right.
Take a look at registering to play in the tournament, and there's sponsorship opportunities that are still available. We're a month out. We'd love to have more folks involved in this. And like Ernie said, we're going to sell this thing out,
right,
and then we cap the money for participation there. So if you believe in what we're doing and you want to support what we're doing, sponsorship opportunities are there to increase our net profits and take this mission into more schools. We've got the budget right now to add 6 schools in the fall. We're going from 30 to 36. We have 14 schools on the waiting list that want this program. Depending on the success of CaddyHack, depending on the success of the 100 Wave Challenge, right, we may be able to add 10. It was just, we just don't know. But the summer is where we do we keep the boys connected through our schedule of events. We're doing 24 events in 12 weeks. And it's also our fundraising season. We do the CaddyHack and we do the 100 Wave Challenge. And then we go into the fall. We've got our budget. We know what we can do.
That sounds great. Well, everyone, just thoroughly enjoyed this conversation. Skylar, this will not be the last time that you'll be on the show. I'll guarantee. Let's make this a point. Ernie, hopefully it'll fit into your schedule, and Joe as well. After the event, let's have a recap.
Okay.
Maybe in August, and say, how did it go?
That'd be great.
That'd be great.
How was that chipmunk outfit? Ernie will say we raised $490,000.
Yeah,
and that sounds great over this.
Love that.
If anyone can do that reach, it's our good friend Ernie. Thank you so much for coming on, Skylar. Wishing you nothing but great success with CaddyHack and everything else that's going to be down your pathway. Joe, it's great having you on the show. Neville, you always lift us up on these shows, and thank you very much. And Ernie, you've been a longtime friend. You gave me chills talking about Bruce Shoebottom. I'm going to go see if I can find that in my repertoire as well. Ernie, thank you for everything you do in this community, and especially with Boys to Men. And for our listeners, we hope you enjoyed the show.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Cloudcast Media.